You a little sucker for love, huh? It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Want to give a shout out to my man Metals Crypto for the song request, brother. I promised you I was gonna play it. You thought I forgot about you, but I didn't. Here's the song, Tupac, Do For Love. I love this song. It's a classic. Hope you guys are doing well today. You're probably not. I know that portfolio is not looking great. Bloody day. I'm actually going to do another video for the trading room group to give them some updates on my thoughts on what is going on with the markets. I think it has to do with some revaluations going on and giving us an actual closer gauge on what the true market cap of this market is, this crypto market is. I think, you know, it's not dollar for dollar. We all know that, or most of us should know $1 in does not add $1 to the market cap. So there is some multiplier effect there. My man Lee from Fundstrat has said that he thinks it's upwards of 50x for every dollar. I'm not too sure it's that high, though. I'm starting to think it may be close to that. So anyway, I'm going to give a full explanation of that to the trading room later this evening. But today we're going to talk about a couple things, man. One being yesterday, a lot of kicking up of dust over this whole Brock Pierce interview I did. He wouldn't come out and say, yeah, I'm a pedo. Like, for me asking him really anything about the situation is really mute to expect really anything. You have to make up in your mind whether or not you believe all of the anecdotal evidence on the internet about Brock. You know, I went back and watched I think it's called Open Letter documentary this morning. It was the people or the person that Brock hung out with, Collins Rector, I believe is his name, that was the sole culprit behind this from what I've researched. You know, his name keeps coming up. He's the one that got in trouble. Brock and the other gentleman was let off. They were detained and then let go because they were innocent. This is what we have, and that's all we can go off. You can add to the story if you want, if that tickles your fancy, but I'm going off of what I see. Anyway, that was a dramatic event yesterday. I saw someone in the Webbar room and even in on the comments say something about you didn't ask any questions. Someone said it was a snowball interview. Well, you know what? Put it to you this way. You go ahead, you reach out to Brock, you get an interview with him, and you ask him the questions that evidently I didn't ask. And let's see how that works out for you. All right. Sounds good. Because, you know, I did that interview at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's in Singapore, I believe. Last minute, interview. Boom, I got it done. And that's the end of it. You know, I'd rather go with what I'm doing is presenting you with as much information for you to make your own mind up. I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. I don't know Brock. You know what I mean? So, and he doesn't know me. So what I was doing was giving a venue for Brock we talked about more than just this pedo negative energy stuff. We talked about a lot of good stuff in that interview. So you can take it or leave it. Me personally, I ain't losing no sleep over it. So you ain't got to worry about me worrying about what you got to say, because I really don't care. I do want to say, I want to give a shout out to my man Silvertooth. He put out a great video today. I actually retweeted it. I'll try to remember to link it in this video. But man, he really he went in on the whole fact that Cliff High initially blessed EOS, and him blessing it, the information about Brock and his so-called pedo ring and all of that stuff was already out. This is nothing new. This goes back 10-12 years. And so what Silvertooth was saying is that information was already there, but Cliff blessed it in multiple reports, and he was kind of pointing that out. And another angle or another point that he brought up was that he felt like Bix more so Bix over Cliff, but Bix could be possibly paid to spread this FUD about EOS and Brock Pierce. I personally don't think that neither of them are that type of individuals. That's why I like them. I don't think they could be paid to voice their opinion. So I wouldn't go that far. But I definitely disagree with the both of them. And with Bix, to be honest with you, the way he's going about this whole covering EOS and this Brock thing is excessive, and that's what Silvertooth was saying as well. Make your point, and that's it, Bix. You know what I mean? I don't think you have to, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, continually do videos on the case, on the subject, and then you put out a video yesterday saying that, hey, I'm willing to definitely sit down with Brock. Go ahead, CB, connect that, make that happen. And I reached out to Bix. I went even to his website because I don't have Bix's email. I didn't have it at that point. I still don't, but I could have reached out to Truth Blitz for it. But I just jumped right on his website, sent him a contact form submission, and also reached out to him on Twitter, but never heard back from him. And then I see today that he said that an unknown entity deleted his video, and that he was told by close sources to back down, and it's all being handled. To me, if you feel, Bix, if you feel that deeply about stopping Brock or exposing him in his pedo ring or pedo activities, I would think you would go forward with that. If your conviction was that strong, as it's shown in the numerous videos you do on a daily basis about it, why not go through with it? Why not say, you know what, no, man, we need to expose this. We need to do whatever it takes to expose this guy, and I'm like, to me, when I saw that, I'm like, come on, Bix, man, I love you, bro, but that to me shows that you're not, to me, just kills your credibility, So that's my two satoshis on that whole subject. But today we got a few things to do. That's part one. I guess I'm just cleaning house today. Another thing I want to talk about, as you can see on the screen, I'm gonna scroll up. We're currently sitting at 6,300 on Bitcoin. You look at the bottom of my screen, and I'm just gonna put this up and let you see this. This is funny. This guy said back in end of May, where I got a lot of flack about telling people that I did not believe that McAfee had an understanding of prices and how really have an understanding of the sentiment in the markets. It's not always about technicals per se, but I keep a gauge on sentiment. So when I see for the last 6-7 months or six months, I see good news after good news after good news come out in the crypto sphere, and it's a complete sell off, continual slam down or sell off of Bitcoin. I'm looking at the sentiment as well. So if the sentiment for the entire industry is bearish, it doesn't matter what technicals you see forming occur, you're not going to see those types of explosive moves upwards in the markets, because I personally compare what we have today in this markets to the 2014-15 slump, where it was just flatline for a whole year, didn't really do much, stayed around 200 and bounced between 220 and 260 all year long. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if McAfee was in crypto then, but that's why I came up to the conclusion that no, that we're not going to see 15K by well, I said in my video initially by June 1st, because that's what the article reported on that I did. It said by June. So to me, the word by means June 1st. Then I got slammed. People were, oh, you know what we're talking about. He didn't say by June. It was in June, sometime in June. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. He meant in June. To my reply was, still not going to happen. And so let me just give you this screenshot here from my man Suave Life. He sent this, I think, on like May 30th, May something like that. Actually, it may have been earlier than that because the video I did was maybe about 6 or 7 days prior to June 1st. So he said here, just because you don't have the mathematical skills doesn't mean no one else has those skills. I think he meant just because you have the mathematical skills. I'm not sure. Make a video after it hits 15K next month, meaning this June, and apologize because John uses computing power to come with his predictions as well. And my reply was, I absolutely will. And I will screenshot this message and report on it when it doesn't. Now you ask, well, CB, why are you doing it on June 13th? Well, because I think I can confidently say at this point, I'm sticking my neck out there, but I can be wrong too. That's the thing you guys got to understand. When I tell you things, I'm telling you how I feel, my opinions. I'm not too swayed by other people's thoughts. I don't care how big or small that individual is in this crypto game. If I think some way and that's how I'm viewing and assessing the situation, that's how I'm going to present it to you guys. So I confidently believe that we will not see 15,000 by the end of this month. We'll see. I know John said June 15th something is supposed to occur. Maybe I'm wrong, people, but most likely I'm not. So shout out to my man Suave Life for that one. I do have one more thing to show you guys, but first let me just take a look at this market cap because I'm getting long-winded here. We're currently at $268 billion. Bitcoin's dominance yet again up. It's at 40% now. When we go up in Bitcoin dominance, the markets go down. Look at all that red, man. God. Let's take a look at where EOS is. EOS is at $9.89. I told you guys I was going to start looking to fill those bags back up with EOS below $10. That was my biggest position. I sold 75% before the registration or switch over to the main net, that whole process. So I'm going to be accumulating a whole bunch more EOS, and seeing that was my biggest position for my portfolio. That's a great move, a great trade. I believe that I'm going to be able to place here, but I'm not doing it yet. I think we're going to see some more downturn. I may even wait until we get closer to $9 in EOS before I start loading the bags up. And I won't buy all in at once. I never buy all in at once. I never sell all at once. I usually scale in and scale out of my positions, because the longer you trade, the more you can't time markets. So what you do is dollar cost average in and out. That's that. Let's take a look at this chart really quickly. So as you can see here, we tried to get very close to that 5,900 area. 6,000 or 6,100 is where we had a strong bounce off of that area. 6,147. To me, that's not telling me too much yet. I still think we may test this 5,900 area. If we break that, then boy, we have some issues on our hands. I'll just keep an eye on it for you guys. I'm going to do this one article because I've been going so long today with the intro. I don't think I'm going to get both articles in. I'm just going to do one for today. The article that I'm going to cover today is something that I think is applicable to one of the topics I talked about. And that is, what do you know? John McAfee predicts Bitcoin bounce back 15K in price latest July. So now he's pushing that back. Says here, a new revelation by the man with the crystal ball predicts a bounce back in the price to 15K before the end of July at its latest. This revelation came as a Twitter user by the name Twitter handle name Joshua Stretter 3 asked John when the price of Bitcoin would go back to the 15K mark. This prediction was contrary to the first one he made when he said Bitcoin will surpass 15,000 in June, will dip in July. It's now mid-June and McAfee seems to have received a new vision. Look at that. Look at God. Many of his fans found his tweet funny this time, with many referring to his former tweet, with one of them by the Twitter handle Dan Rocky saying, but your prediction was for June and already ordered a Lambo. Another said here, I hope you are right, John. I'm holding like a fucking champ. Someone by the name of Jocelyn Simard, critically analyzing his prediction from the current price, says it'll take a miracle for his prediction to come true. In Simard's point of view, for the price to hit 15K, it would take a year or possibly a bit more. Looks like your boy John McAfee is pushing it back. This is what happens, man, when you try to time markets. And John, the thing with John McAfee's initial thing when he came out with that last month, the thing that really was a red flag for me is when he said my algos have never been wrong. I say, yep, I'm definitely not even taking him seriously on this prediction. I'm not saying I don't take McAfee seriously, period. He's a smart individual. He's done a lot more than I've done, for sure. But just because you're smart, just because you've done a lot, does not mean you're right all of the time. So when I saw that, that's a red flag. Never listen to anyone that tells you that they're right 100% of the time, especially when it comes to financial markets and price predictions. It just does not work that way. So let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on Suave Life for telling me to do a video next month apologizing. Well, Suave, I did a video prior to next month and I'm not apologizing. So the other topic I want to talk about today is actually, I don't know how many of you follow the traditional markets. I try to keep a pulse on what's going on over there, just to have a more balanced view of what's going on in finance, period. Crypto, equities, bonds, all that good stuff, FX, currencies, foreign exchange, so that I can have more of a kind of balanced, broader viewpoint on everything when I'm giving you guys info. And so this guy, which kudos to him for being on this as well. My man here, Billy Valentine, said, what are your thoughts on the Fed hiking the interest rates in regards to the changes in equity markets and the currency price? How would it affect other major currencies, euro, the yuan, the pound, and the yen? And how would it affect the economy and crypto, both short term and long term? It would be nice if you could mention this in your next video. I didn't even read the rest of that when I typed to him. I said I'll do that in my next video, and that's what he asked me to do anyway. So yeah, man. So the interest rates were hiked. I was actually watching it on CNBC when it was going down. Powell came out. I think that's a new Federal Reserve president, and they raised it a quarter basis point. And I think that they're doing this just to act as though everything is okay. Either that or they're just blinded, and I don't think they are. These are very smart individuals that are running the Fed. Don't think once that they're not. But again, just because you're smart doesn't mean you're right. I think, man, this is going to have an effect on the equities markets. It normally doesn't happen right away. The last time that they raise rates, it takes some time for the market to digest it. So I think you may see some pullback in the equities markets, and of course with the interest rates raising, I think over time though people are going to definitely pile into bonds even more. It doesn't make any sense. We're in such a perverted, crazy, upside down, illogical market that it just won't make any sense to us. So these are the end times as far as this current monetary system. So short term, I think equities will take a little dip, but they'll come in and bid it back up. They meaning the Plum Protections Team, PPT, and just in the equities market, you have that continuous flow of funds coming in from the pensions that will have to keep a bid. They have to buy these institutions, or these buy side institutions and firms. They have to buy equity, so it's going to be a bid under these markets, people, until it just all falls apart. So people are going to start rushing into bonds, but at the same time, I think overall they're still going to buy equities. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, I'm not too convinced that there's that much of a correlation, short term or long term right now. with what the monetary policy is in regard in its relation to cryptocurrency. So I don't see too much of an effect there. I do think that the crypto markets will over time and later this year start to rise some more as the faucet starts to turn on and institutional funds begin to come in. No correlation to me from a monetary policy standpoint with the crypto market. So I hope I answered that for you. Great that you're thinking that way as well. It's good to look at other markets and just have an overall view on things. So that's pretty much it, man. I had another article, but we'll save that for tomorrow. I don't want to be too long-winded today. Make sure you guys definitely like and subscribe and click that bell, people. Jump over to cryptoblood.io and pick you up one of those teas too. We got some hot ones. It's your boy Crypto Blood. You know the deal. I'm out. Holla.